All right, I've given myself a limited amount of time with which to get this done, but I think I can still get through this. I'm going to call this here the Three Cities Cup, and I really, for a combination of reasons, because again, I rarely do or not do anything for one reason only. I want to just play this, what I'm going to call the Three Cities Cup, and I hope I don't screw it up and call it the Three Nations Cup by mistake. But I just want to do like a simplified playthrough. I'm going to do a half dozen round robin games, and this is a series that could go up to 12 games because I've decided after that I'm going to try to seed the teams and then come up with a best, I guess, two or three type competition in the final. So it's I've just been made aware as well. Just made aware myself that I will probably need to keep track of differential. Goal differential will probably matter in this with such a short series, but I really think once I get going with this, I can play these in a hurry. And I also think I have an idea now about the third period, a better idea about the third period. So going to apologize. Actually, I meant to go and look at the name of the gentleman who left the comment. Maybe he wouldn't want me saying his name on video anyway, but somebody left a comment who have read the exact same instructions that I have here and pointed out that in the third period, I might as well point it out right now, actually. So in the third period here, I was overlooking this line. I don't know why. If this condition is not true, simply play out the third period as described in the rules previously. So if there's no clutch situation, you play out the third period, whereby a team could end up scoring a few goals and come back and win big anyway. Few parameters here of simplification for this competition. I'm not going to roll out starting goaltenders before the game. I will assume that in a short competition, everybody's bringing their best. So for Toronto, that'll be James Reimer. It'll be Luongo for Vancouver. And I don't know, I'm a little more hesitant to go with Neuwirth for Washington. I might go with Varlamov, actually, for Washington. Holtby was still a bit wet behind the ears then. Probably didn't even have all of his signature facial hair. So, yeah, maybe Varlamov. We'll see executive decision there, game time decision maybe on the Capitals. But the Capitals, who won the 2010 season 2010 competition that I did here recently with the game 5 dice hockey. So this is with 4 dice hockey. And anyway, well, let's just get this underway. So how it's going to work here, I'm going to take the first two teams here, Toronto and Vancouver. Let's put Toronto on the road, Vancouver at home. And it's first period because, again, like I said, Reimer and Luongo will be my starting goaltenders. So for the home team, Vancouver, I looked at 2 there for the home goals. It does say 0. And so unless Reimer has managed to let one in, and he has not, so it's going to be scoreless for Vancouver here after 1. But let's see if Toronto manages to get any. So with 8 goals there with the away, that's going to be a goal for Toronto. And I look, these 2 dice add up to 7. I'm using blue and not black because I'm using that as a lame excuse why I was seeing 9s where there were 10s and vice versa in the previous video, the first video that I did for this game. So for Luongo there, for the home adjustment, I see a 6. So there is no adjustment there, meaning that after 1 period of play here, we have 1 goal. And I will roll here for goals and assists. I'll take the red, white, and blue, go hundreds, 10s, and 1s in that order. So 655. We have 55. We have Brett Lebda actually scoring for Toronto and rolling for the number of assists here, 9. I like that it's right in the team card, so that's going to be a pair of assists. I think there's something over here as well. I'm remembering it wrong. So I'm just going to use the assist on the team card there appropriately. And I realize as well, this might not be the latest version of this game, but I think that it's close enough to any updated version. The updated version, actually, looking at the Anaheim, Arizona, looks like maybe it's just a more advanced version of this. So consider this maybe even like a more basic version of the active game. But still, I do think, or at least hope, that this will give you a really good idea of 4 dice hockey by 4d6 hockey by username member 4d6 over in Delphi forums. So with the 3, so I did say a pair. 3 and the 6, I did say a pair of assists on the goal there. So the first one. So again, we have Brett Lebda, and it's 211. That is going to be Clark MacArthur, and the second assist there with 422 is going to be Tyler Bozak. So anyway, I'm not going to remember that. So in the second period here, Vancouver the 8, so they managed to score a goal and tie the game here. However, it could be adjusted. We look here in Reimer. The away adjustment actually with a 3. And subtract the goal if it's in brackets here. If the black and yellow dice equal the result in brackets, fantastic save there by James Reimer. Already you see this game at work because, again, Toronto is away. So Vancouver's 1 goal there is not to be. So Toronto here with a 5 away. That's going to be another goal for the Maple Leafs where I look at the 6 and there's no adjustment there for Roberto Luongo. So we have a 2-0 score after 2, whereby I'm immediately going to amend an error that I made in that first video, which is I'm just going to roll out for the third period now. So third period here with a 7. Vancouver needs to make up here. They do. They tie the game there at 2, and there's no adjustment there. So the Canucks here have tied this at 2. and I might even have to do overtime, just my luck. So we have a 2-all game here, unless Toronto, again, unless they can score and pull ahead. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, let's see here. They have an 11 and 11 on the road, so no, they don't get any goals, and Luongo's not going to shank and let one in. So we have a 2-all game here. Might as well do the overtime then. See, overtime 6 and 7 means that it's going to be tied. And so I'm just going to roll these 2 dice here. I'll double check here, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's done. So 6 and 7 with 5 in brackets, so I should look to Toronto there for that overtime here. Again, I just started playing this game, I think it was last night. So I just want to double check something here. Regular OT rating. And the first dice results are common for every team from a particular season. And if it equals the results shown, the overtime ends tied. And if the red and white dice sum not equal to the first dice results shown, add the black die to the home team's overtime rating, the yellow die to the away team's rating, in brackets, right? So we're just using the brackets here, even though that adds up to 5. So I should do this again here, and it's going to be yellow is away team and black is home team. And again, I'm calling this blue die here black. So 5 plus 7, and then 6 plus 5. And so the higher sum die in rating wins the game in overtime. So we have a 3-2. So look at that, 2-0 come from behind there. 3-2 a win for Vancouver there in overtime. And I'm going to make a quick note here as well that is a 3-2 win there for Vancouver in overtime. So we have Toronto. This is going to be really rough on a whiteboard just off camera here, a little whiteboard. So we have wins and losses, and I guess again goals for and goals against. I will resolve every game for this is a short tournament. I'm gonna do overtime and size shootout even if need be. So Toronto has lost, Vancouver has won, and goals for. And I'm not gonna do like extra point for regulation win or anything like that. Let's just try to keep it simple here, as simple as I ever get. So. So it's Vancouver's won here. So what I'm going to do is a home and home series now. So I'll reset the score, and I'll put Vancouver on the road here at the Air Canada Centre, then in Toronto, and pretty sure there wasn't in 2011, still the Air Canada Centre. So away we go with it. And again, I'm going to say Luongo and Reimer. I'm not going to roll for starting goalie. For a season replay, I understand it, but this is a short competition. You bring your best to a short competition. So with a 5 and 5 there, Toronto at home this time. Toronto has home goals. That's 0 in the opening frame. And Luongo, no adjustment there. So it's Vancouver's turn here, rolling on the road now with an 8 for the away. That's going to be a goal for Vancouver. And there is no adjustment there for Reimer at home. So it's going to be 1-0 Vancouver here after 1. I guess I didn't roll out the other goals. That's one thing that I didn't do. Going back now, I mean, I guess I could roll out 1 more goal for Toronto and then 3 more for Vancouver. I'm going to forego it. I've shown you how it's done. I want to keep this quick and simple. It's there, and I think it's a nice option, but I don't think you necessarily need to do it. So it's 1-0 Vancouver after 1. And here in the second period with a 6. So again, looking to Vancouver, that's going to be 2-0 for the Canucks. However, we look here, that's a 7. That is no adjustment for Reimer. So, yep, we get another goal here for Vancouver. And maybe for the playoff games, I'll do goals and assists for players. So Toronto now, here in the second frame, with a 4. And Toronto's at home this time, I have to remember. I hope I did the away goals for Vancouver there. Sorry if I did the home and I meant to do the away. For Toronto, I'm doing the home. And still 0 for Toronto and 9 for Luongo. No adjustment there. So it's 2-0 here after 2. So again, we're just going to play the third period. And Toronto's at home, right? So I have to look at Toronto. I have to remember that. So Toronto's at home, 4 and 9. So that's going to be 0 at home. I guess they sucked at home in 2011 among other places. But 2 and 4 there for Luongo. So that's a goal adjusted. So Toronto has scored -1 goals, I guess, in the third period, which of course I'm kidding about. And Vancouver, I guess, might as well see if they've managed to score any more. So for away, that's going to be 2. So we have a 4-0 Canucks game here now. Luongo looking to finish the shutout. And unless, wait, sorry, I got to look at Reimer as well there. No adjustment there. So yeah, 4-0. So Vancouver picking up a couple of wins here. And so Vancouver's 2-0 and Toronto is 0-2. Somehow in 2011, that seems kind of fitting. And the Canucks for the goals for and against combined 7-2, and Toronto with 2, 4, and 7 against. So I think now what I'll do is I'll move Vancouver over to Washington and put them back on the road here for game 1 against the Washington Capitals. Um, and yeah, okay, wait. I didn't have to change Toronto. They didn't score. So, first period. And again, I will start Varlamov because I said that I would. So 6 here for Vancouver, or Washington rather, at home. And they've scored a goal. And the 8 here for Luongo means no adjustment on the road. So 1-0 here. Not necessarily 1-0, but 1 goal scored for Washington in the first period. Where the Canucks being on the road with a 9, the away goal is 9-0, and Varlamov, that it would have been taken away had there been just the 1 goal scored anyway. So, second period now. 9 again for Washington, 9 at home. They're not going to score this time, and 6 there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And this is Vancouver, the 5 and away. So Vancouver has tied the game unless, no, there is no adjustment there. So we have a 1-1 score after 2. So for a tied or 1 goal game, I guess that's when we go to the clutch. Double check here. Again, just want to be careful, new to this. And second period, only when either team are losing by no more than 1 goal. And they're losing by 0 goals, definitely no more than 1. The team is behind makes the roll. Okay, so there is no team behind. So what I'm going to do, and you can let me know in comments again if I'm wrong about this. But I'm just going to roll the third period as if it were just a normal period here. So third period here for Washington. And the 2 and the 4, the 6. So at home, that's going to be another goal scored for Washington, unless the 3 and the 4 for Luongo, no adjustment there. So Washington has picked up a second goal here in period 3. And Vancouver now. Vancouver here with a 7 on the road. I think that's a pair for them, though. So up 3-2 unless. Varlamov, again, he's at home. If he were on the road, that'd be an adjustment. But there is no adjustment because Varlamov's the home goaltender. So much like they kind of did to Toronto, the sneaky Vancouver Canucks here have managed to, pull off another victory here. Sneak one out, I guess. So Vancouver is 3-0. And they improved to 3-0 with this thing. And Washington is 0-1. And goals for 2, goals against 3. That's going to put Vancouver at 10-4, respectively, after that, with 3 games played here. So Vancouver looks like they're kind of a lock, kind of a shoe in here for first overall, unless Washington can really manage to win the next game and then really do some damage in Toronto. There you go. Just doing it really rough here. I guess I could write here 3 Cities Cup. That's what I've decided to call it, kind of like the 3 Nations, only this is 3 cities. Some, 1 or more of which might consider themselves to be a nation, but we're not going to go there. So 3 Cities Cup, there it is. All right, so anyway, we're 2/3 the way through this, and we're going to reset the score here and try to remember to put Washington on the road. I fully admit and allow that it's quite possible there that at least once in this video, hopefully only once, I rolled and looked at a team's away where it's home. It gets confusing to me here because I always put the home team in the right, but for this one, Vancouver is the home team, so... But 4 games played already, and I'm talking the whole way through, and I barely played 13 minutes in this video. I am taking shortcuts, however, by picking starting goalies just automatically, so just myself without rolling them for them. So here in the first period, Vancouver at home, we're looking at 5. That's going to be a goal scored, unless the 6 for Varlamov. He's having bad luck with the adjustments. That would be taken away if Varlamov were at home, but he's on the road here. So it's going to be a goal scored there for the Canucks. And then Washington again being in the row of the 6. They've tied the game here unless, let's see, Luongo, at home, Luongo takes that goal away. So good save, Luongo, and it's 1-0 Vancouver after 1. Vancouver here in period 2, again being at home, not going to score. And Washington, I guess with the 4, yeah, they're not going to shank and let any in anyway. That would only be Gustafsson would do that, Schneider would do that on one occasion. So 1-0 after 2. Low scoring affair here at the GM Place, where the Canucks here in the third period with the 11. So they're really trying to pad it. And again, Varlamov with no adjustment there. So a couple of goals there scored for the Canucks. Up to 3 they are. And Washington, they've really got to... Do they even have a chance now? Let's just assume or pretend that they do somehow. So, yeah. Washington here, let me see if they can at least get on the board. Away, they do actually. They make it close. So 1 goal through 40 minutes, and then you get 4 goals through the final 20 if I've done everything correctly, and sorry if I haven't. Luongo's at home as well, so I just carefully looked there. Hopefully I haven't overlooked that, but there'd be no adjustment there. So if I've done everything correctly, this is 3-2. Vancouver has gone a perfect 4-0. They've amassed 4 consecutive victories here over Washington and Toronto. So the Caps fall to 0-2 as well. And let's see here. That bring their goals for, I guess, up to 4, and then their goals against up to 6. Whereas Vancouver is looking at 13 and 6 here. So bit of a mismatch so far this year. 3 cities competition. Still have 2 more round robin games to go. And should double check to see if my goals for and against add up. They do, both to 19 total. So here through 4 games of 6, 19, just under 5 goals per game. But you know what? It's a playoff competition or a short competition. So it's tight. Washington will reset them to 0 and give them the home game first. And Vancouver, maybe I'll turn it over so I don't distract myself. And yes, these are Uno cards. And Toronto, and I believe Toronto's actually coming off getting shut out by Luongo in the second game, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. We'll go for our alarm off again here at home. And it's going to be 9 there for the Capitals. Here in the opening frame, they don't actually score any goals. And Reimer's not going to punt any either. So let's go to the second frame now, where we have, or sorry, the first, I hope I didn't do that and overlook. Toronto, 11, so no goals away, and the 8 here, it's not going to matter. So nothing after 1. Here in the second period, Washington with a home in the 6, so they've scored once. And the 6 here for Reimer, there'd be no adjustment on it anyway. Washington in there with a goal in the second. And then we're looking at, Toronto. So Toronto here, the 7 away, that's going to be a pair for them. I remember that from previous videos. And with the 9, so again, no adjustment, just looking again, just showing where I'm looking, I guess. So the Toronto takes a 2-1 lead here. They're looking, both of these teams are looking for their first big win here of this 3 Cities Cup competition. And so it's 2-1 after 2. And again, I'll wait till the playoffs to actually roll out goals and assists for players individually. So here in the third, Washington here, they've got the goal to tie it. Oh, wait, 1 goal. They're down by a goal. That's right. Let's look at the clutch. Washington's down by a goal. Sorry if I've overlooked that in a previous game, but I'm doing it here. I'm trying to make up for it here. So the clutch goal can only be used after completing the second period and only when either team are losing by no more than 1 goal. The team that is behind makes the roll. And if the condition is not true, but it is true here. So Washington with the 7 and the clutch. Roll all 4 dice. Some of the red and white dice, he was the first result not in brackets. The team has scored 2 goals and have come back to win the game. The sum of the red and white dice, 7. And so Washington with the clutch. Okay. I think that's how that would work. Yeah, they were trailing, but they're clutch. The sum of the red and white dice equals the second number in brackets. The team has tied the game. No, I think I need look no further. If I'm not mistaken, Washington has picked up their first big W here. Have the W Washington Capitals. So I think they're 1-2. I think they've come from behind here to win in the third period, where the Leafs are having absolutely no luck. The Loofs, as Uncle Ron Jacob would say. So Washington there, they're at 7 and 8 for their goals for and against. Good thing this short competition math is easy enough. And Toronto's up to 4 goals for now and 10 goals against. So even though I know how this is going to shake out, I'm going to play one more here. I mean, I guess Toronto could really do damage in the second game. But, yeah, let's figure that out. So, again, it's Toronto and Washington, where the Leafs, it seems like they can't even buy one. And, okay, away we go with it here. Washington on the road this time, so maybe that will benefit Toronto. Okay. So Toronto at home, they've scored twice, actually, here at home, unless, yeah, there's no adjustment for the 11. And Washington with 8 on the road, they've scored 1. And Toronto with the 2, it's not going to matter. So Washington has scored 1. Toronto has potted a pair. And we have a 2-1 hockey game here after 1. We're Toronto with a 7 at home. That's going to be another pair of them. And the 11, again, there's no adjustment there with an 11. So 4-1 for Toronto. And we still have to roll for Washington. Toronto 4 goals after 2 periods. Washington here, we're looking at the 6 away. That's going to be another goal and no adjustment on it. So we have a 4-2 score here after 2. This could be our highest scoring one. And let's see here. So third period, Toronto home with the 4. So they don't score in the third period, and none are being knocked in. Washington here with a 6 away. So another goal for Washington. They get to within 1, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Reimer's not going to permit anything there. So it looks to me like Toronto has actually finally picked up their first big win, 4-3. So, right. So Washington goes 1-3. Toronto finishes 1-3. And if we look at the differential, Toronto just won that by a goal. So they are up to 8 goals scored and 13 goals allowed. And I'll double check my math here. Washington is up to 10 goals scored. So they have the most goals and also 12 goals allowed. And that's 19, 31, 18, 21, 31. So I'm pretty sure that's all correct. Sorry, that's a little rough. But by way of a slightly less worse or less sucky goal differential, it's going to be Washington, Vancouver here in the final. Probably could have seen that all along anyway. So we're just over 20 minutes into this one, and we're going to have a final playoff here now. We'll say Toronto's been eliminated, and they are not even Uno no more. They are an O. They are on the golf course and playing some history maker golf there by play games on the green, and Vancouver and Washington. And again, I'll try to remember, which isn't my strength, I'll try to remember to roll out goals and assists for this one. And I don't know if Varlamov got them to the big show, but let's say Neuwirth here, just, for the heck of it, just make things simple. Goalies at the top. Vancouver's going to get game 1. This is going to be home ice advantage for Vancouver here. This will be a best 2 of 3 series. So Vancouver home here at game 1, where they roll an 8 here at home in the first period, so they've scored once. And Neuwirth, there's no adjustment there, so Vancouver with 1 goal here in period 1. And Washington on the road, they get an 8 here away, so they've also scored once. In Luongo, there's no adjustment there. We have a 1-1 game after 1. So into period 2 we go. Oh, I did say that I would roll for goals. So I'm going to do that after the game. I'll roll for... No, it's not as fun. Let's do it after the period. So the 566 there for Vancouver, that's going to be Yannick Hansen, and he scored in yesterday's video as well. And assisting on his goal, the 6 and the 5 there, because I'm not rolling well. That's going to be just the 1 assist. And 356, that's going to be Christian Ehrhoff. So Hansen from Ehrhoff. And for the Capitals, we're looking here to a 351. So scoring that goal for them is going to be Mike Knuble. And let's see here with a 10 for Washington for the assists. They're looking at a pair of them. Triple sixes there. So Knuble from Scott Hannon. And with a 442, it was Marcus Johansson. And Johansson, he's gone by a few different pronunciations of his own name in the NHL and his history in the NHL. So anyway, 1-1 after 1 there. It was Knuble from Hannon and Johansson. And here in the second period, Vancouver rolling a 3 here at home. They don't manage to score. No adjustment. Washington in the second period with a 10 here on the road. They don't score either. And again, there'd be no adjustment indicating otherwise. So 1-1 after 2 here in the third period. Vancouver with an 8. So they've scored once here at home, and that goal is not taken away by Neuwirth. So we'll give Vancouver here their second goal. And maybe what I'll do right now is roll to see who scored. So 554 for the Canucks. That's going to be Raffi Torres. And we have 2 assists on the goal. Raffi Torres from 263 is Ryan Kessler. Torres from Kessler, that'd be an interesting line. Interesting bit of obnoxiousness there. And 511, we're looking to Alexander Edler with a secondary assist. So now Washington. And this is the third period. So Washington here with a 6. Away with a 6. So they get 1 and they manage to tie the game. Unless, look at this, Luongo at home. Clutch save Luongo. Washington doesn't tie the game. Vancouver is taking game 1 here. And I did say up to 12 games, but no, this would technically be only up to 9. Yeah, because I'm not going to do best of 5 or 7, which also wouldn't equate to 12. So Vancouver 1 win away from the 3 Cities Cup. And so we're going to reset the score, put Vancouver on the road this time. Should hopefully be even a little less confusing for me. I know I could have cut these out, but again, I'm in between doing some work and on my way back to some more of it. So I thought I would just leave things as is here, try to keep it simple. And so Vancouver And I rolled out the goal scorers as well. Yeah, okay. Vancouver on the road this time means I will start Washington first with the 4 here at home. They've scored a pair. And Luongo's not able to remove any of those. So we got a two goals here for Washington in the first period. And I'm changed my mind. I'm going to roll, see if Vancouver scored any before I assign goal scores. Vancouver away manages to get the 1, and Neuwirth can't do anything about it. So we have a 2-1 game here. And so we'll start with Washington, I guess. Washington here with a 5:26. The first goal scored by Matt Hendricks. And Hendricks here, I only have to look the white and red this time, sorry, 5-2. Hendricks with a pair of assists. So Hendricks from 661 is Marco Sturm, veteran Marco Sturm, and did say a pair of assists, so 223 is Backstrom. So Matt Hendricks from Sturm and Backstrom. And the second goal is going to be a 615. That is Karl Alsner. Oh, my goodness. Alsner with 2 assists as well. And the first one here, the 166, is that Backstrom again? Yes, it is. All Backstrom picking up another helper here. And then with the 614, it is Matt Bradley getting the other. So, and for Vancouver as well, we're looking here 626. That's going to be Jeff Tambellini. And Tambellini, where does he? He's in the bench somewhere. Where is he now? Anyway, 5 is maybe it's Vancouver actually. 5 is 1. Sorry. What am I doing here? 5 is 1 assist on Tambellini's goal. 2 assists in Tambellini's goal. And the first going to 634 is it's going to be Tanner Glass. And 233 we are looking at Henrik Sedin. So. Okay, third period, second, oh goodness, second period, first period, third period, fourth period, second, right? Maybe I'm buying Vancouver a little more time. So in the second, Washington doesn't score, Vancouver doesn't adjust. And Vancouver here with the away goals, they've managed to tie the game unless, yes they have. So here in the second period, just the lone marker, which... let's see here. Deposited by 222. That is going to be Henrik Sedin picking up another point. And to the 9, we're looking at a pair of assists on his goal. The first 232 is also Henrik Sedin. The first 412 then is Christian Ehrhoff with another point here. And 161 also Henrik Sedin. This happened. Deja vu, this happened in the last video. 361 is Christian Ehrhoff. Okay, someone other than Ehrhoff and Henrik Sedin. 146, Daniel. Henrik from Christian Ehrhoff and Daniel Sedin. We have a tie game here after 2. Where Vancouver, I mean, that's right, they won the first one. They're on the road this time. I was like, wait, why is Washington at home? So Washington at home doesn't score in the third period. And Luongo will have no effect on it either way. Vancouver here on the road, it looks like they've managed to score and go ahead unless the 6. Now, I almost want to lie and say it's Varlamov, who has, no, because Neuwirth. So that's, because Vancouver is on the road, so Washington doesn't get another go here. That's period 3. And so I'm double checking everything now the way. Yeah. And 6, that's not going to matter for Neuwirth. Would have mattered for Varlamov. You know what? They pulled Neuwirth after 2 periods. To the delight of Canucks fans. Let me see here. 28 minutes into it. Let's say hypothetically that Varlamov, he was wearing Neuwirth's jersey and there was a mistake. Third man in the ring. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, and we have overtime because we just want to see overtime. So this would be playoff overtime, though. This would be playoff overtime. So for playoff overtime, because I don't think I've done playoff overtime. So there you go. Just playing around here. Playoff overtime, roll out 4 dice. Some of the red and white go to the home team's playoff OT rating. And the some of the black and yellow go to the away team's playoff OT rating. Advantage Vancouver there, 11-7. So red and white, let's see. For Washington, I'm going to roll off 4, actually, more dramatic. Do the dramatic drop here. So 10. Washington's at home for this game 2 of a best of 3. That adds up to 17. However, 11 plus 9, so this was always going to be Vancouver. I tried to take away a goal from them, and Save Varlamov stopped it. However, winning it in OT, if not in the third period for Vancouver with a 6:56, is Chris Higgins. There you go. Chris Higgins. And let's see here. 9, so assisting on Chris Higgins' goal is 433. 433 is Mason Raymond. Higgins from Raymond, and I did say a pair of assists. 354 for the other one is Christian Ehrhoff again. Good game for Ehrhoff, setting up and helping out everyone. I didn't update this, but Vancouver basically just won back-to-back. The Vancouver Canucks went a perfect 6-0, reducing Washington's total overall record in this thing to 1-5 in the process. And there you have it. We're barely 30 minutes in, and I've just completed 8 games of this. 3 Cities Cup competitions. So the game is 4D6 hockey. It's by Rick Kay, and I have the instructions here somewhere. It might not be the most recent version, but there you have it as proof that I'm not just making up the name, I guess, if for no other reason. It is 4D6 hockey. Sorry that's kind of, I printed that really small, but this game is free to download. I will link in the description to this video to where you can find this game and maybe even find a newer version of it and a few other teams as well. So, have at it, have fun, play the games you enjoy the way that you enjoy playing them. And anytime, any consideration that you give to this, thank you for that. And bye for now.